Well, when you talk about facing life in prison and standing your ground, and not snitching, that's a very deep concept. I don't know if you're following the news, but Vybz Kartel from Jamaica, he got convicted of murder, and he's facing life in prison. And we just released a story that he's now cooperating with the police.
Wow.
And he helped him find a bunch of guns and so forth. You know about this?
Nah, I didn't know about that. You put me on to that right now.
All right. So for example, Vybz Kartel, according to the Jamaica Observer, he told the police the whereabouts of several wanted men in Jamaica, leading to the recovery of 17 illegal firearms. The Jamaica Observer is the official, one of the official Jamaican newspapers. So this is pretty standard information. I mean, coming from your situation, how do you feel about someone like Vybz cooperating with the police, helping him find wanted individuals to lessen a sentence?
Well, not just, I don't really know all the details. I told you just put me on to this information. But I don't approve of nobody, like running the streets or doing dirt and then, telling on people. Like even the moms where I'm from, like when little kids used to tell on your cousin or your little brother or something, he was called the tattletale. Like you ain't supposed to, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, put somebody else in a bad situation just because you in one. So I don't respect snitching, I stick to the old codes of the street, which is not around like how it used to be. And there's not as many old heads or, OGs on the street to hold it up no more. So the young boys that's coming up is pretty much running the streets and they don't stick to the same codes. But those is the codes that I stick to. I don't feel as though you should make somebody else's life miserable and, put them in a bad situation just because you in one.
So you would have done life in prison rather than give up anybody to the police?
I already showed signs of that. Like, I already been in that situation facing life. They was originally trying to even give me the death penalty, But they was going to definitely try to give me life without the possibility. And, I took it to trial, held my ground. So at the end of the day, I don't feel as though I'm going to tell on nobody. I already was in that situation. The prosecution used to come to my legal team all the time. And my lawyer got to tell me. I used to tell him I ain't want him to tell me, but he got to tell me. It's just like that's the law. So he used to tell me like, yo, they said if you agree to, testify or take the stand if they was to lock anybody else up in a situation, you could go home today. You know what I'm saying? And for me not to do that in the position that I was in, there's no way around that. Like, I feel as though that's realer than even pulling the trigger. Like, it's little niggas from my hood, 11, 12 years old that'll shoot somebody. But to be in that predicament and, hold your ground, I feel as though that's the realest thing that you could possibly do. So that's the reason why when I came home, I was talking about it to let people know how real it was. And there's no fronting involved because when you do give statements or whatever, it's out there for you to be able to see it. You can never see me say nothing. Like, I never even said, I'm not saying nothing. I ain't even say that. I never said anything. So I feel as though that's a real nigga move. You know what I'm saying? And even if I do care less about somebody than myself, of course, I care about myself more than anybody else. But at the end of the day, I just don't respect the fact of you telling on somebody, regardless of what level they on, regardless of how you feel about them. You just got to keep your mouth closed. And that's that's how it go.
How much did it cost you in legal fees to go through that trial?
I don't remember exactly, but it cost a lot, man. It cost a lot, man. Like, because I had 3 different lawyers. You know what I'm saying? My entertainment lawyer was on deck, and then I had 2, defense attorneys, big lawyers in my city. And because the case was so publicized and so big, they even wanted more than just if it was somebody else's case. So it did cost a lot of money. And on top of that, the whole time I was locked up, I couldn't make no money. I couldn't make money from the normal routine that I make money from. So not only is you spending money on that, I still got to pay the same amount of bills I had to pay before I got locked up. But I'm not on the street to make money. So, you know, that was like a little rough time. Then after I came home, I started cooking up again. So it's not like I went directly on tour to make money. I just went in the studio for months and months and started cooking up again. And once I finished cooking up, well, almost was finished, that's when I got in a nearly fatal accident. And that sat me down for another period of time. So it's like, that was a long stretch where it wasn't no money coming in and I still had to spend money. So it was definitely a hard time for me.